Welcome to the Tough Guys Podcast. Every week we bring you news, insights, and thought-provoking conversations straight from the home for mental health in the metaverse, Tough Guys. I'm excited for this episode. It is I, one of your co-hosts, but normally a co-host. Today I'm actually just a host with a very special guest. We do not have talks tonight, so it is just I, Fallen Idols here. Really excited to bring you this episode with somebody who's a member of the Tough Guys family. He's a member of the team, incredibly important to the project, especially before Mint, bringing that positivity and the hype. It is a good friend of ours, Jackal. Jackal, introduce yourself, my man. Welcome.
What's up, guys? I'm glad to be here. Finally, I've been wanting to shed some feedback for a bit. Hopefully, that can get done today. Got some good stuff for you guys today, 100%.
Man, so happy for you to be here, and thank you again for spending some time with us tonight. As always, we're going to talk a little bit about what the past week has brought us here at Tough Guys, then get into the news, housekeeping, maybe talk a little bit about a special tough that we want to hit on, the tough of the week, and then we're going to get right into today's big talking point. We're going to talk about staying positive and maintaining your own mental health, your mental clarity when you are investing in or taking part in a hype cycle. Right now, the big one that comes to mind is NFTs, but this is a tale as old as time. For anybody who has invested in collectibles and even stocks and securities and more, there's always this hype cycle where people get very involved and can get very emotional when money is involved. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but first, I want to jump right into a recap of what would have been 2 weekends ago by the time y'all hear this, and that is the launch of the Tough Guys Twitch. We had an incredible weekend. We raised, in 1 weekend, 2 days, 17 hours of streaming, we raised $2,500 for our very first featured charity, and that's the Charlie Mike Project. If you remember from a couple episodes ago, we had those guys on that run that charity, and they are building PCs and donating electronics to veterans and their families so they can connect with people, game, relax, communicate, find employment if that's what they're looking for, find educational opportunities, go to school from home. There's so much there, video chat with their families, whatever it is. So we raised $2,500 for that. We are not done yet. By the time this podcast airs, we'll have done another charity weekend with over 30 hours of streaming this week alone. So a lot of incredible stuff there. We, in 2 days, over 120 followers, almost 400 unique viewers. We really crushed it there. So a lot of work from the Tough Guys community and family. We really appreciate everybody involved. Now, coming up next, the news, the upcoming release announcement I have for y'all. Jackal, what do you know about POAPs, the Proof of Attendance Protocol? How do you feel about those?
They have become a nice little, hobby to collect. There's so many different pull-ups out there. Some of them are pretty special. Some of them, they mark events. Some of them, they're all over the place. But overall, I like to collect them all like Pokemon.
So for those that don't know, a POAP, it's like, the best way I can describe it is like a crypto sticker. Is that good?
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you go to an event, or a restaurant, or you participate in like a Spartan race or something, you get the sticker, you earned it, a patch, you slap it on something like, hey, I did this thing. And that didn't really...
It's a proof of existence at a particular time.
Right. And when you talk about the crypto space, crypto enables something in the digital space that has not been possible before, and that is a unique, trackable digital item. And people right now just see profile pictures and tokens and all of these things. They don't fully understand it. But when you start to say, hey, this is something that you can earn, it's free, and you can just use it as a part of your collection to prove that you participated in a thing, I think that's pretty special.
Oh, especially when it's free.
Yeah, for sure. So do you have a couple POAPs in your collection?
I definitely do. I have about 20 plus.
You got 20 plus? Really? I didn't know that.
I really do, yeah.
Now, were these a lot of these promotional, or do you attend events trying to get them?
Some of them were events, like the Obey one. We were able to have our proof of attendance for minting their NFT and they gave it to holders for free.
Yo,
pretty cool. We had to go into the metaverse and sign the book to obtain it.
I'm getting serious FOMO right now. I've been an Obey fan since I was a kid, and you're walking around with an Obey poem. I didn't think I was going to feel this way right now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, pretty much with pull-ups, you know how like you go to events, you get your ticket 10, and you would bring that home, and you know that's your physical item. Well, before pull-ups, we didn't actually have any like proof of attendance online in the digital world. Things are changing like crazy. That's why I'm so bullish on everything metaverse related. Like when you have a pull up, it shows that you engaged and proof that you are part of an event online. Like people don't understand how big that really is.
It's crazy, and there's already utility built into these things. So just to get really quick into the technical side, for those of you that understand a little bit more on the crypto talk, is that these POAPs are these little free. They're free for the most part. Now, I could see one day where they're not, but they are free to mint and claim. They are little NFTs, and I say little, I mean they're NFT size, I don't know. And they actually live on the XDAI network, which is how they get away with no gas. And you can hold them in the app, the POAP app, and they're attached to your Ethereum wallet address just on the XDAI network. You can actually bring them over to the Ethereum network if you wanted to, but I don't see much purpose in doing that. But what's great about these is as you collect them, the people that make them, the collections, they can say, hey, we're going to run this giveaway for this event, NFT, money, tokens, whatever, and you can only enter this giveaway if you own this many of our POAPs or this specific POAP.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So people are probably wondering why we're talking about POAPs right now, and I'm really excited to tell you that Tough Guys has released their first 3 official POAPs, and on top of that,
ding, ding,
ding, ding, man, there it is. So we released one. We're calling this Season 0 because we got a Season 1 coming, and I'm not going to say too much on that, but I'll say a little bit. Season 0 is our very first couple POAPs, and it's what we're releasing while we're waiting to really go full on with a season of really interesting and fun ways to earn and use Tough Guys POAPs. But right now, we released one for the folks who have come by and watched our OG Twitch month here in January, our first couple weeks of streaming. We also, and this is the incredible utility, right? We told everybody, hey, come on by. We got a POAP for you to mark the occasion. But if you donate $10 or more to the Charlie Mike Project, we have a special golden POAP for you. So we found a ton of success there. There was a lot of people who would have never come to our Twitch that said, hey, really want to check out your Twitch. I'm excited. There's a POAP, and that's why we're here. And it's been a lot of fun.
100%, I agree.
Yeah, man, it's really cool. So as we look to seasons, right, I don't want to say this is, Zav's baby right now, and he's really excited about this. But I do want to say that if you think about earning these little digital crypto collectibles, right, these little memorabilias, kind of think about like earning them in a way of like a video game skill tree where like there's seasons and there might be these collectibles and there might be like a skill tree branch where you're collecting these and earning them and unlocking things along the way. How's that for leaking alpha?
Oh, that's some alpha.
Yeah. Might get in trouble for that one, but that's okay. So that's the big upcoming things that we have here on top of our normal events, Tough Talks, where we teach a variety of mental health related skills, discussions, and things of that nature. And then Zav will have just done his very first art class in Tough Guys, where he's bringing everybody in and starting to teach some art fundamentals so people can maybe start their own NFT projects or start their own hobby or career in art. It's pretty incredible stuff.
That's awesome. That's very awesome. That guy, he has some talent.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah, he's the heart and soul for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get into the main topic, we got one more thing that we got to do, man. We got to talk about the Tough of the Week, and we are now going to talk about the number 4 winner, 4th place for Tough of the Year 2021, who actually found his face on a unique 5 limited edition POAP for the Tough of the Year, and that is Tough Diamond Dan with his angel suit mech tough guy, and I'm not sure the name of that headpiece there. He's bringing it, right?
was one of the tough guys that I really, really wanted.
You, you, you know, he's not letting that thing go, so you can't get that one. But I do think there might be some diamond suits out there in the market you could hunt down. I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I love what's going on with the cheeks there. It's like the sparkly little cheeks. I never want to say that again, but I did, so we're just gonna go with it. I love his sparkly little cheeks. I'll just say it.
It looks like a level 99 warrior.
Yeah, he really is. He's like a shiny tough guy, honestly. Like we call it a shiny.
Yeah, it's awesome, definitely.
It's good stuff. Well, congrats, Diamond Dan, for your win there of the POAP and the cred, being one of the best looking toughs of the entire year. And now, Mr. Jackal, I'd love to start to pick your brain. So before we really dig into the topic, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your entrepreneurial journey, your investing experience, and how you find yourself here?
Sure, man. All right. Well, I guess I've been self-sufficient about the last, say, 3-4 years now. I used to work in a kitchen making $10 an hour as a dishwasher, 40, 50 hours a week. It was just not something that I saw myself doing forever, you know. I don't have any college, dropped out of high school. So I was very limited with options. And then, I took the time out and I started discovering new income opportunities. And it's been a wrap ever since.
So you have found yourself as you look to find other ways to grow, meet your financial goals. Which what are your financial goals?
Oh, I want a house. I want my car. I want my piece of property. That's my end game. That is by far my end game. And then once I reach there, sheesh, it's time to start the whole new sheet all over again.
Good. Yeah, yeah. I love it. All right. So you're working the 9 to 5. You knew that that's not what was for you, and you made a decision, and you started doing some investing, some kind of entrepreneurial pursuits.
Absolutely, man. And one of the biggest ones, one of the most life-changing ones, was getting into crypto. Oh boy.
Yeah. How has that changed your life?
It was literally like a night and day, especially once I really started understanding the market. Oh my goodness.
So, with investing in such a volatile space, as we all know that crypto is, and then adjacent to that, and a part of it, of course, is NFTs, and that's something that's very important to us here at Tough Guys. Is that's one of the main parts of our project right now. There is an undeniable boom and bust, blast, dust, hype cycle phenomena that is constantly running in crypto. How has that affected you?
Oh, see, I've been a part of the crypto space since like 2015. I was one of the most original fudders out there. I remember seeing Bitcoin hit $200 and flopping down to like $50. So imagine being then and then we're here now. You would have never thought we'd be right now. That's all I can say. You would not have thought Bitcoin would ever go to $60,000. It's crazy, and this has happened several times in history, like multiple times in history. But once you understand the markets, and you understand how to play it, oh boy, it could be some of the best income opportunities for you've ever seen in your entire life.
So you've seen the highs and you've seen the lows, and you've been involved in some yourself. What has that done to your mental health and your mentality as you've endured those?
Oh God, a roller coaster of emotions, because you just never know with these things. Even with as much experience as you get, seeing your money drop to zero can be a little scary sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So dealing with the fear, right? What has found you success there in kind of coping with that fear, or being able to ride the waves a little bit?
You really, one thing I have to say, you can't just jump into crypto and then, oh my God, Lambo. That's not how that works. It takes patience. It takes great control. You can't go in there and with the idea that I'm going to be rich in 5 minutes. That's not how this works. It's a time over thing. It takes a lot of time, and you get rewarded for it.
Something that I don't think a lot of people realize when they get into this space is, and this sounds simple and it sounds a little minimizing, but it's the truth, and it's something that really punched me in the gut in the beginning. Is you see something like a 2x gain, or a 5 times up investment, a 10 times gain on your original investment, but that only scales with the amount of money you put in, right? So a 2x gain on $100 is an extra $100, so that is a long road to Lambo going that way. And what do you see right now with people in the crypto space? We'll get into NFTs in a minute, but in the crypto space, what do you see with people and expectations and emotions and things like that?
I feel a lot of the people who get into crypto, it's been known statistically, a lot of people like to go in when things are already booming. That is that has been notorious since the beginning of it. People FOMO in all the time, and then next thing you know, there's a huge dip, and then they get weeded out. Personally, whenever I see, there's a lot that goes into this. It's very hard to break it down in just a few sentences. Crypto, just in a nutshell, it's the ultimate chess game.
Really well said. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely hear that. And now, with institutional investors involved, I was just recently listening to somebody talk about, what we're seeing right now, like welcome to the involvement of institutional investors and how much that's going to change things and change the rhythm of this. I mean,
that's huge.
Right.
Huge.
So when did you start to get involved in the NFT space?
So I started looking into it at around March this year. I remember when we was with our Malice fam, a lot of the guys were talking about NFTs in there, and I'm the type of person who likes to take my time before dipping into a market, especially when we're talking about a lot of money.
Right.
And I sat back and watched for a while, and then I finally decided to buy in my first project in October.
What was your first project? Do you mind me asking?
It went to zero, and it was called Baby Dragons.
Is that on an Ethereum project or on Solana?
No, it's Solana.
So what was that like for you? Your first one and it goes to zero. Even though you had experience in the game, what was that? What was that like?
You see, guys, this is what I'm talking about. Never FOMO into things. You have to take your time to research before spending any money.
Yeah, that is wise words from an experienced man. So then, what did your NFT journey look like after that?
Actually, yes. Okay, so around this time, this is when another project, and I had actually gotten my first 5x game. That was sheesh. I think I went from 1 Solana all the way up to 6 Solana within just a few minutes. It was incredible to see. That got me hooked.
That is such a good feeling. Yeah. What popped off like that for you?
I think it was the Portals houses. I don't know the exact name.
Right.
Do you remember the that 1 Solana launch? It was like little hotel rooms. I think it's called Portals.
I do. I remember exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the one. And ever since then, oh man, you know me, man. I'm in talking about NFTs all day, all night. It never stops.
Yeah, no, head first for sure. Did your experience up to that point in these types of markets, volatile markets, did that help you weather these types of storms?
When it comes down to crypto and NFTs, at first, they definitely act differently. When it comes down to crypto is crypto, but NFTs don't really. I feel like they don't really function off of crypto. I mean, yes, they're powered by crypto, but their value is strictly based on community. As far as crypto, that's based off, I guess investments like stocks and stuff. But NFTs, it's literally just a new technology to bring the digital world together. That has its own demand. Crypto is a new technology for our money, the dollar or the other currencies out there.
Man, I think that's really well said. That NFTs are a technology to bring people together, and then before that, you said how NFTs value is all about community, and that really is the truth. And that's something that we've been saying here on the show a bunch lately. Is that in Web3 and in NFTs and the technology that we're involved in right now, community is the product.
Absolutely, without doubt.
So, what are you seeing right now in people? We see a lot of emotion. What kind of emotions do you see come out in these NFT drops, these communities?
I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich off of $100 spent. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich, guys. Watch me.
And then after the drop, what do you see?
More than often, it is not that.
Right.
It is. People don't get rewarded until they put in the time and they put in the understanding on why a project moves and why it's. If you just blindly go for these drops without doing any research in it, that is not a good way to enter this space. I can assure you that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that sounds like, you know, common sense to a degree. Like, yes, of course you have to do your own homework, and of course you have to do research on these things and make informed investments. But, you know, not just in this market right now, but it's a lot of investing. People see something and go with emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So
Very
emotional based.
Emotion wanting to be rich.
Yeah, yeah. They see you when as soon as you see other people being successful and other people making money, the first question most of us ask ourselves is, why can't I?
It gets your forehead sweating. That's what I'd like to say.
Yo, yeah, absolutely does. It absolutely does. So what advice do you have for people getting into these spaces and these volatile markets, especially crypto and NFTs, but any sort of business, any sort of investing, collectibles, whatever it is that has a high likelihood to get worse before it gets better after you drop money?
I would say patience, um, being calm are. I know it sounds very simple, but those two little things go a very, very long way.
Right.
You have to believe in everything that you're doing. And as long as I mean, not that you can manifest these things to happen, but if you find yourself to be an intelligent individual and you understand how certain things could go, and you truly believe in these things, and as you're reading and you're doing all this research and it's adding up to your thoughts, all you need is the patience after that and just to remain calm and good things happen.
Yeah, yes. Remaining calm, trusting the process, having a process. Also, when things don't go your way, I really like to look at, what Jocko says about extreme ownership. And if it's 1% your fault, it's your fault. And saying, okay, I lost money here. I got rugged. This didn't go the way that I thought it would. And again, this doesn't just apply to crypto and NFTs. It's anything. And taking a step back and saying, okay, how is this my fault? What could I have done differently? What will I do in the future? Instead of taking your toys and leaving and saying, this didn't go my way. I'm not playing anymore.
I want to take what you said, especially with the rug conversation. I feel a lot of people fall for rug because they're going based off what everybody else is saying about a project instead of doing their own time and research into it. Like you see your friends, oh, we're going to go for this one project. Oh, they're docs. Okay. A lot of people tend to just go with what their friends are saying, and they're not going to go into the details of who docs them, how long the project was made, who's a part of the team, what's the end game for the team, what's the community engagement. A lot of people don't like putting the research into that, and they just like writing what the other person's saying. And then when the other person gets them bid, they want to blame the other person when they should have done the work themselves, and they would have found out there were holes in those walls.
Yes. Yeah, that information is there. I took a big loss this year on an investment, and I was really trusting somebody. And that person is very trustworthy and they're very knowledgeable. But when I took a step back and I said, okay, why did I put this money down? Because I went with this person's word. Let me take a look at this project now with a clear set of eyes. And I looked at it and I said, uh-oh, why did I do this? This team does not look trustworthy. This does not look like it has longevity. And shortly after putting in money, there was drama on the team, and the project really fell apart, and the community abandoned them. So I could have seen that coming, but I didn't trust my gut, and I just went with diamond eyes and said, no, like, this guy's got it. We're good, man.
Diamond eyes is definitely a thing.
Yeah, right? I thought I made that up, but it's definitely a thing.
What people don't understand with diamond eyes, how are you supposed to see straight? It's kind of like looking through a kaleidoscope.
Man, it's like beer goggles for investing.
There you go. We should not do that.
I got some.
But, as you were saying, I'm pretty sure you've learned from that.
I have. I absolutely have. And what I found is that I am so busy with other things in my life that I have a hard time making that time to do true research on projects. So that's one of my big challenges right now that I'm overcoming and looking to really work on, is making sure that I am fully developed. I'm trying to develop thesis when I put my money into something, and getting informed enough to say, here is my educated thoughts on what the future is, on whatever I really like investing in collectibles. It's a lot of fun. And then, of course, crypto and NFTs.
That's exactly why I love NFTs so much, because I'm a little nerd at heart, and when I see pixel art, I go crazy. And that's when my diamond eyes go on, and sometimes I make a little bit of too many degen plays, but, the only person to blame is myself. I don't put my investment buy-ins on anybody. They're all done by me, and when my investment fails, I know the only person I can blame is myself, and I go back to the drawing board.
That's the truth, and that's the things that makes us better and makes us stronger.
Absolutely, man.
Got some thoughts here from the community on this subject. I brought up that we were going to be talking about it tonight. Simo says, don't let the highs and lows of investing fill the hole that is a real need for mental health. And I think he's talking about there is we can have these needs in our life, and sometimes we can gloss over them and just try to fill that hole with the wrong things. A lot of time that's the pursuit of money, the pursuit of things, and it can usually land us in a worse place than where we originally started.
You're absolutely correct about that. When not everybody's rich. A lot of people go through like a lot of financial hardship, and it'll make you depressed. It'll give you a ton of anxiety, and those things can make you do a lot of spontaneous, I guess, panic moves.
Yeah.
And it bites you for it.
Yeah.
It really bites you for it. That's why I go back again. Patience and being calm is the key.
Yeah, really well said. Another comment from the community from I Had Mail is, you could use the realization that I came to not long ago. Once you know how to make money, it becomes significantly less important. So if you make a poor investment decision before this realization, it really eats at you. After this realization, you understand that no matter if you have $5 left or $50,000 left, you can use that money to make more money. For me, it's prevented a lot of knee-jerk reactions when business dealings didn't immediately go my way.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Very well said.
Yeah, I agree too. Last one I got from the community is from RTF, and he said about riding the wave. Don't worry about the highs and lows. Don't get crushed by it. Be chill. Enjoy the ride. It gets better. It gets worse. Accept where you're at. Don't be too emotionally connected or charged, or as we like to say, married to your bags, and instead appreciate the journey. Not worth risking a 100-foot wave if you could just drown and get crushed.
Another good comment.
Wisdom coming from the crew right now, man. Wisdom. So, such a great discussion. Thank you for sharing all your thoughts and some of the things that you've weathered as you find your own personal financial success. I love your story. We're going to start to wrap, but we got one thing, and I actually forgot to tell you that we're going to do this. So I'm going to spring it on you. It's a good one. We like to do something every week, and it's called What Was Tough? And we like to go around the room and talk about the one thing that was either hard for us this week or maybe a triumph, something that we've had success with our mental health this week, or maybe just something that's been on your mind. And what I got going on for me is dealing with the good old imposter syndrome. And the imposter syndrome is that idea that regardless of how much work you've put in and how much you deserve the success that you've had in your life, the positions that you're in, the things that you have, whether material or in relationships, spiritual, whatever that is. Imposter syndrome is the idea that no matter what, inside of yourself, you don't believe that you actually deserve or have earned those things. And I constantly deal with that. I battle with that every day, and sometimes it's better and sometimes it's worse. Today, it's particularly worse, and it can really lead to a lot of negative self-talk and doubting yourself. And what I have found success with is having good people around me. Real talk is, I had a hard time getting ready for this podcast today because I've had a rough day, specifically with imposter syndrome. And you know what happened? I got on starting to VC with you, us chatting today, getting ready for the show, and you immediately put me in the place I needed to be, man. So thank you so much. And I think that really reinforces the fact that you got to surround yourself with good people who can give you an outside perspective and some positivity when you're having a hard time finding that.
Of course, man. Of course. I got you, man.
Always.
I've known you at least a year now, and I just know you're a very hardworking guy. Very hardworking.
Double-edged sword, man. Yeah, that's the problem. So what about you, Mr. Jackal? What's a triumph, a challenge? What's been on your mind with your own mental health or, in your life?
If I were to say, if I go back to my story earlier of where I used to be and versus where I am now, the realization hits me that outside looking in, I'm on a very, very good path. I feel I'm on a very good path. But when I get hit with a hardship, it feels like all my hard work goes down the drain, and it hits me really, really bad sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, there'll be days that I'll just, disappear, and you won't hear from me for, 2-3 days because I'm trying to regather myself to get that energy back. And it really does hit me hard. It hits me hard mentally. Like, let's just say I put in an investment, and then it goes to zero. Oh, my goodness. That's one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yeah.
I can't let that be the be-all, end-all. So it's hard to get out of the rut, but I know, I have to regather myself, I have to gain my energy back, and back to the drawing board, and we do it all over again. That's what happened this week. I got into a particular investment, and now it's doing very well, and now I'm back on my feet. I mean, I never really fell off my feet. It's just that mental game of you see this long little streak of success, and then you're back at the bottom, it feels like. And it's a terrible feeling. It really is. And I don't like being at the bottom. I mean, yeah, you learn a lot of things when you get to the bottom and get back to the top, but at the end of the day, being at the bottom is being at the bottom, and it's a horrible feeling. So I just do my best to try and get myself back up, keep myself positive, I just try my best. It works, but boy, do those lows suck.
They do. They hurt. It's so rough. And hindsight's 2020. And when you get back up, you can look back and say, that made me stronger. That made me better. I learned so much from that. But it's just like when there's a real dump in crypto or in an investment and everything goes down. You always say, I'm going to buy the dip when the floor falls out of this market, when everybody stops buying Pokemon cards, I'm going to buy them. And when everybody stops buying crypto, I'm going to buy it. And then when you're there, when you're in that low or when crypto's in that low, there is no light poking around those clouds. It feels like the darkest day. So
you should see my face right now. I'm just nodding hard.
Yup. Yeah, man. So, hey, incredible strength on your part and being able to pull out of that this week and be here with us and bring all the positivity that you always do. You are You are such a asset in any community that you're a part of, especially the ones I'm in with you. So thank you for everything that you do, and thank you for being on with us tonight.
I appreciate you, my brother. You know that.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for listening tonight. As always, you can find us at toughguysnft.com and discord.gg/tough. And now we're at twitch.tv/toughguys. Definitely check us out there. No matter what you're going through or where you are in your life, you always have a family of tough guys to help you through. Have a great night, day, morning, evening, afternoon, and we will catch you next week. See you later, everybody.
Guys.